Here's something that the bank won't sit you down to teach you, but I will. There are ways to pay less interest on the loan and reduce the repayment period. Here's why. The interest on your loan is calculated on a reducing balance. What this means is that if you're paying off more of your principal, not only are you shortening the repayment period, but you are also essentially going to pay less to the bank in terms of interests. Now, what I said may sound like a mouthful, so let's put this into a practical example. Let's say that the bank says that your repayment amount is 3,500 kwacha. You're not tied to paying specifically the 3,500 kwacha per month towards your repayments. You are at liberty to increase your repayments. What this does is that it allows you to shorten the repayment period because you're paying the bank more money, and also essentially because you're paying more money towards your principal, you're reducing the balance on which they're going to calculate the interest you are paying. Now, how do you do this? Your relationship manager at the bank is not for decoration. They're there for conversations such as this one. So, let's say you are in debt. Ask your relationship manager to show you how much you've paid towards that loan so far and how much is the remaining balance. And then ask them to tell you on the monthly basis, this 3,500 kwacha that I'm paying, how much of it is going towards the principal and how much of it is going towards the interests. Then you can also ask them to do a simulation for you and say, let's say I'm increasing my repayments to 4,000 kwacha per month. How would that affect my repayment period and how much would be going towards the principal and the interests? Now, to get you out of debt faster, go back home and see where you can make certain lifestyle changes to say, okay, maybe I can increase my repayments just by maybe 100 to 500 kwacha in order for me to be able to drastically reduce the amount of interest that I am paying. Having said that, I'm going to teach you some strategies to get you out of debt. If you're a person who's found that you're in Congole, you've borrowed several times from different people and now you're neck deep in debt, we're going to talk about some of the ways which you can get out and stay out of debt. Number one, start by forgiving yourself. You did the best you could knowing what you did, and now you know better, so you're going to do better. The strategy number one is snowball method. So start by listing all the debts that you owe to people, the people that you owe and how much you owe each one of them. Then in the snowball method, what you would do is that you start off by paying the smallest debts first. What this would do is that to give you a sense of accomplishment, to say that I'm a responsible adult and I'm able to pay off my debt. If I can manage to pay off the 500 kwacha that I owe Esther, the 200 kwacha that I owe Mom, therefore I can be able to pay off the 50,000 kwacha that I owe ABC. So in the snowball method, you start by paying off the smallest debts first and you build up from there, paying off bigger debts successively. Next, we have the avalanche method. In the avalanche method of paying debt, what you do is you go back the list of people which you made, of the people who you owe money and the interest towards that debt. And what you do in the avalanche method is that you start off by paying the debts which have the highest interest rates and the highest penalties, whilst maintaining a minimal payment towards the debts which have a lower interest rate and which have lower penalties of repayment. The justification behind the avalanche method is that you are saving up money on paying interests. Lastly, I'll end with a disclaimer. This is not financial advice. I'm just sharing my journey towards financial freedom with this online community. Remember that debt is not bad, but rather debts which you get into for lifestyle expenses such as keeping up with the Joneses or spending money which you don't have are things that I'll generally stay clear of. But if you're getting into debt towards things that are building up your net worth, things that you'll be able to make money off, those are things that I would gravitate towards.